So let's go ahead and grab those weights and hold them by your sides. Take a couple of shoulder shrugs up, back, and down. While you do that, go ahead and bring your feet into parallel. And as always, that can be hip distance apart or touching. One more time, shoulders up. Let's squeeze them. And then let's tighten the grip on those weights and take a little rock side to side with both your chin, your ears, and also even your shoulders, and get a nice little stretch. And then I want you to raise that left shoulder and drop the right and lean a little farther to the left, chin down and chin up. And then lean over to the right, raise that shoulder, lower the left, and then roll that chin down. And then roll everything up. I'm turning sideways so we can focus here. I want you to sway your weight just a little bit into your toes and into your heels. So almost as if you're going to fall backwards when you go backwards. And I'm not concerned right now with what the upper body is doing. But eventually I want you to shift your weight into your toes. But then I want you to notice if you have lifted your chest, I want you to take those weights on your rib cage. Deep breath in through your nose. On the exhale, pull the ribs down. So now those abs should be engaged to hold those ribs down. Your weight is shifted forward. Take your right hand, thumb towards the ceiling. Lift that arm up and notice if you cocked yourself back, keep that down. Same arm, lift it and lower it. Thumb is going straight up. So we're working the front of that deltoid muscle, your shoulder muscle, but we're also working the abs a little bit to keep those ribs down. You could even take your left hand and put your weight on your rib cage and make sure it's staying down. One more and bring that down. Same thing, other side. Again, if you want some kinesthetic feedback, put that weight on your left rib and then lift and lower on the left side. Keeping those abs drawn in, keeping those ribs pulled down towards your hips. Beautiful. And now, of course, we're going to try that with both arms. So shoulders back and down, but ribs pulled down, weight in your toes, both arms straight up and down, and up and down. Do you feel your abs when you lift your arms? I'm hoping that you do, and you feel how they have to engage to keep your ribs pulled down so your shirt doesn't pop up. Last two, and last one. Woo, shoulder shrugs up, back, and down. So just kind of keep in mind during class, we're going to do a lot of exercises with our arms over our head, and that makes your ribs want to pop up. So you're going to focus on really keeping those down. So for now, let's go ahead. Come on down to a seated position. Bring your left knee in, and your right leg is slightly off to the right. It doesn't have to be way straight in front, it doesn't have to be way off to the side, but I don't want it straight in front. And then pull those glutes out from under you. So you are seated on a nice stable base here. And then we're going to take at least one weight. You might try both. Put them on your thigh, and then just hold them down with your palm. So I'm not gripping the weights. I'm just going to hold them down. And then, here we go. Maybe start with one weight. Lift that leg off the ground. And lift. And lift. Wow. And lift. You can add that second weight if you want. I'm not sure I can get my leg off the ground if I have that second weight. Good. And lift. And lift. Last two, lift and lift. I'm going to make it easier for us. You're welcome. Bring that other knee in, that left knee in, and hug it. That should make it easier. Yeah. And now if you want, now see if you can add that second weight. Just lift. Woo! Ow! Second weight adds a lot. At my house it does. Good. Last two. Last one. Give me a thumbs up, big way up here if you could feel those. Oh, good. All right. Next challenge. Roll the leg open, right? So the seam of the pants is facing the ceiling, and put that weight on our VMO, vastus medialis. That's right, kind of on your inner thigh, but just above the knee, that little teardrop muscle. Sit up tall, hug that left knee in, woo, lift up and lift. and lift. So now we're doing it in turnout, and you should be working that smaller muscle, and it should be super excited about this. And relax. Woo. Okay, we're not quite done. We're gonna bend that left knee how it was originally. We're gonna take that right leg behind us. We're gonna leave it on the outside of the leg this time, shoulders up and down. Right arm, or excuse me, left arm, probably not gonna be right in front of you. You're probably gonna need it on an angle to help yourself from falling over as you lift and lower. And again, you are welcome to add that second weight. So outer hip work right now. Try and keep your knee and your heel in a line. Try not to just rotate open or just lift up. Woo. And relax. Okay, we have two legs. So we started in that annoying angle, right? Before I corrected and fixed us. So pull those glutes out from under you. Left leg not straight in front of you, but not all the way out to the right. One weight to start with. Palm holding it down, and we lift. Woo, cramping. And then we'll be nice. So bring that right knee in. And again, you might be able to stack both weights now. And we go again. And lift. And lift. And relax. Woo, take one weight off. Rotate that leg open. Seam of the pants towards the ceiling. So you can see that inner thigh a little bit, sit a little taller, and then try just a single weight for now. And we lift with that rotation outward. Ooh. Now I'm leaning back a little. You can sit taller up against your ribs, up against your thigh, do so. If you need to do the cheat method like as I am doing, well, you know, do as I do. And relax. Woo! Now that right leg comes down and that left one goes behind us. One or two weights on that outer thigh. Right arm in front and a little to the side for balance, and we lift. And we lift. And again, trying to get that heel and that knee in a line. And relax. Weights down. We're going to lie down and we're going to bring those weights on each side of our body. And we're going to give our knees a hug in for just a quick moment to stretch out that low back. We're going to rock a little side to side. When you rock into one side, bring that knee in. And when you rock to the other, bring that knee in. And then I want you to start to bring your knees closer together and keep that little movement going. And then stay in center and hug both knees in. Feel that tailbone curl up. And then let that tailbone move away. And then hug it in and let it move away. And one more time, hug it in, let it move away, feet on the ground. So as always, I'm going to give you just a quick little round of using the weights or not using the weights, one weight, two weights, and then you can use that for the next exercises. Fingers on your rib cage, nice deep breath in. On the exhale, flatten those ribs down towards your hips to float your head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Arms are going to lift up, and then they're going to reach overhead. And we're practicing the same thing that we did a few minutes ago, which was keeping our ribs down even though our arms go overhead. And then we'll exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale to lift. Inhale, arms reach by your ears. Notice that the ribs stay nice and flat, and exhale down. Again, exhale up. Inhale, reach, and exhale down. Let's grab a single weight. Hands on each side of your dumbbell or your can of corn or whatever you have. Deep breath in. Exhale, float. Inhale, reach those arms over your head. Ribs are flat. Fingertips reach. Head nod yes. And exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale to lift, inhale to reach, and exhale down. Again, exhale, lift, inhale, reach, exhale down, and one more with a single weight. Exhale, lift, inhale, reach, and exhale down. So that single weight adds a little bit of challenge, but it also is going to engage, unfortunately, your trapezius and your neck muscles a bit. So if that's too much with the weights today, don't worry about it. If you want, a couple of options here. 2 weights stacked up like that. Deep breath in, exhale, lift, inhale, arms reach. You'll feel that extra challenge. Notice if your body goes askew, kind of square your ribs, square your arms, reach through your fingers. Exhale down, deep breath in, exhale, lift, inhale, reach, exhale down. Now you could certainly do your 2 weights with 1 in each hand. It doesn't make a ton of difference, but you might notice a little difference when you separate the weights. I feel like it makes it a tiny bit easier, but it also means that you have to really focus on your symmetry, because one arm might go a little farther than the other, right? So you really have to figure out if they're in line. And you can certainly do it like this, right? With hands together and the weights going this direction instead of horizontal. And then we'll relax. So that's your preview. As we continue with the rest of the exercises, you choose 1 weight, no weights, or 2 weights. So let's go ahead. We're going to go right into our single leg stretch, but I'm going to suggest you have a weight in each hand for this. If that ends up being uncomfortable, feel free to take your weights down. Shoulders out of your ears, fingers to the sky. Exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, and we're going to extend the left leg, and the right arm goes over the head. Reach through the toes, reach through the fingers, check on your abs, pull them in, exhale. And inhale, exhale as you reach, inhale, hold here for a moment, reaching through your left fingers and your right toes, and then we inhale, center. And now we'll do it with the breath. Exhale to reach, and inhale to switch. Exhale, reaching, inhale, switching, exhale, reaching. Inhale together, and exhale, reach. Don't forget that nice pursed lip breathing for Pilates if that's okay with you. If this is a lot on your neck, don't forget that our arms and legs are levers, so they are already creating quite a bit of challenge. So feel free to lower your head if that would seem better for your neck. Beautiful. Last 2, 1 on each leg, or yeah, 2 more. Last one. Nice. Hug those knees in. Keep your weights where they are, or drop a single weight. Double leg stretch, starting with a single weight or no weight, your choice. Legs in tabletop, head, neck, and shoulders float off the ground. Inhale, extend, exhale, tap. Now I'm going to add on with a couple different options. First option, of course, is 1 weight in each hand, or you can take both weights in both hands. So I'm going to keep that going. But I'm going to show you one last addition. If you wanted to, and you had the ability to control it, put that other weight below your knees. So between your calf muscles, perhaps, so that you actually get a little challenge in that lower body. And then again, it would absolutely be fine if you lowered your head. And you have 3 more of those. And then however you have chosen to have your weights, on that 3rd one, we're going to hold. Reach through your toes, reach through your fingers, abs drawn in, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, put those weights on your shins. That should help you get a nice deep stretch in that low back. Again, you can take a little rock side to side if that would feel good. Nod your head yes to lengthen out the neck. So to give our upper body a break, we're going to put our feet on the ground. We're going to take 1 weight and put it on our rib cage. So if our ribs have a tendency to pop up, that weight is going to roll towards your face, which obviously we don't want. So we want to roll it towards the bottom ribs, unless you've got very brittle bones here. And then we're going to exhale and sink that down. So ribs are going to stay flat. And that's our initial awareness. And then hands are by our sides, legs lift up into tabletop. Find that and already see if your weights are wobbling. Pull your abs in, deep breath in. Exhale, belly button to the spine. Inhale, toe touch exercise. You can stick with both legs, or if this feels like a lot because of that weight on your rib cage, you can go to single leg toe touch. If you want to do double leg and you want to make it a little more challenging, then you're going to take that second weight below your knee, and we've created resistance down to our lower body. We're going to reach through our fingers if we can and lift those arms off the ground, but keep the shoulders engaged. You have 2 more. Very nice. Take those weights, 1 in each hand, shoulders back and down, legs in tabletop, and then arms are going to open all the way up. We're going to let the knees drop to one side for a quick little twist. And then use that bottom arm, push the elbow against the ground to lift the knees back up, center them back up, and then drop them to the other side, please. And then again, use that bottom arm and press everything back up through center. Take your weights now, and we're going to put them right at that hip crease, right where the head of your femur meets, comes into your pelvis. And then again, rather than hold our weights, we're just going to press our fingers down against them. Walk your feet into alignment for your bridge pose. So you want to make sure your toes are together or hip distance apart if your knees want to be hip distance apart. Deep breath in, exhale, lift up. Make sure that your feet are even, that you don't have them staggered, okay? And now from here, we're just going to lift an inch higher, and we're going to give a little extra love to whichever glute feels like it might be tipping over. For me, it's my left, right? So then I'm going to drop both hips an inch and lift an inch, and drop and lift, and lift, and lift, and lift. Last 2, lift, and lift, and now we're going to go all the way down, tap the ground, even up your hips, and lift, and tap, and lift, and tap. 2 more, lift, and tap, lift, and tap. We're going to extend that right leg out on the ground, and we're going to lift it up so it's even with the left knee. We're going to squeeze those legs together, and we're going to come right back up into our bridge pose, even that left hip, make sure it didn't drop down. And then from there, we're going to lower the right leg a little bit and lift it a little bit. Really small motion here. Good. Right knee down, or right foot down, lower the hips, deep breath in. Extend your left leg, lift it to squeeze against the right. Come up, even up your hips. Lower that left leg a tiny bit and lift it. Lower and lift. Keep that right knee in line. Beautiful. Left leg down, hips down. Take both weights onto your left hip. So we're going to be asymmetrical here. A little extra challenge. And again, we're not holding our weights. We're just holding our hands against that. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Extend that right leg. What? Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Keep that left hip up. Last one. Right toes point to the sky. Lift those hips a little higher. Engage that left side a little bit more. Even up. Right knee in. Bring it down. Ooh, lower those hips, and both weights go on your right hip flexor area. Hands press against that. Even yourself up, pull your abs in, lift your hips. Left leg up, right? Square your hips, lower and lift. 2 more. Good, last time, leg up, right leg a little, or right hip a little higher, and we squeeze up, squeeze up, squeeze up, squeeze, 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 and squeeze. Woo, and we come down. We're gonna use that weight to help us get a nice stretch, so we're gonna bring that right knee in, place the weight behind your hamstring, elbows wide, hug that right knee in, right onto your right rib cage. Give it a little rock towards the left, a little rock to the right, just nice and easy, a little rotation, and then square it up to center. Hug that rib and thigh in, straighten out the left leg for a deeper stretch. Flex the right heel towards the sky. Feel that stretch on that hip or on that hamstring. Good. And then move that weight up to your calf. Flex to the foot, point and flex and point. And then we'll bring that right leg down. We'll do the same thing, nice quick stretch on the left side. Hugging that left knee in, letting it take a little rock side to side. And then square it up. Bring it even closer, try and get the rib and the thigh to touch. Can you stretch out that right leg and get the back of the right knee close to the ground, flex to that left heel, pressing to the sky, and then straighten that leg out. Point and flex, point and flex, and bring that down. All right, arms down, back wide as we had them earlier. Legs up, tabletop. Stack your knees. Notice your ribs, give them that pull in to engage, even though there's a nice neutral spine. And then we're just gonna let those legs go side to side, not really touching down. Important here to keep the knees together, otherwise it becomes about your legs, not your abs. When you're ready for a little challenge, lift your arms off the ground. Your range of motion will get smaller, but you don't get to rock and roll your arms, right? I'm just trying to keep my knuckles hovered a couple inches off the ground without chaos occurring in what's going on in my lower body, right? So you're not gonna fall over to one side. Keep that going. Good job, y'all. Nice, beautiful. Tabletop position, last 2. And last one for now. Hug those knees in, and we're gonna stack those weights again onto the fronts of our shins, or preferably all the way down to your ankles. Curl up in a little ball if you don't have low back issues or osteoporosis. Pull your forehead towards your knees, elbows wide. We're gonna start rolling like a ball. Exhaling for movement, inhaling a little pause at the top, exhaling to roll, and inhaling to pause. And then we'll stay at the top, or if you needed to, then you're just gonna find your way up if you needed to not roll. Lift yourself up, glutes out from under you, sit nice and tall, back of the neck is long. Let's grab your hamstrings, bend the elbows, and hinge forward a little bit. Try not to roll back, so extend that pelvis behind you, hinging forward. Then you're gonna walk your hands out to your shins. Lift your right arm, lift your left arm, and reach. As you reach, you might even lift up a little bit, but really stretching back with those hips, reaching, and then finally, hands come down to wherever they land, and head is gonna relax, and we're gonna actually get a nice stretch in the back of the neck. So we went from spine stretch to just a basic ragdoll from yoga. If you are holding on to your feet, you can give them a nice little massage, maybe move those toes a little bit. Nod your head yes and shake it no to really loosen up that neck. As I mentioned, when we use the weight, sometimes that neck can get a little overworked. And then to come out of this, we're going to shrug the shoulders back. We're going to place the hands back on the shins, tuck the chin, and lift the back of the neck. And then as you're ready, begin to stack vertebra upon vertebra. And then we're going to bend those knees. We're going to have our weights handy as we go into our roll downs. Shoulders out of your ears. First option on your roll down is to hold on to those hamstrings when you hinge back. Give yourself a little tuck and a curl. Stay there if that's what you need. You could extend those arms for challenge, up into a V for more challenge, even overhead. And then lower the hands. If you need help, pull yourself up. And then let's inhale and extend tall through the backside of your head. Without the hamstring hold, it's here. And then again, options for your arms. And then exhale back up. And of course, you can add those weights, which you're going to add quite a bit. Make sure your thumbs are facing up so that your shoulders are in a good open position. Hinge back, pull the ribs in. Option to go into a T. Option to a V. That will be a little more challenging. Arms by your ears will be most challenging. Make sure this doesn't happen, right? Head in line with your spine. Lower your hands before you try to come up. Palms to the sky. Inhale tall. Deep breath in, exhale, hinge, something with your arms if you want, and then exhale back up. I'm gonna watch you guys for a second, see how things are looking. Make sure you're not rounding that upper back. Give me that squeeze through those shoulder blades. Yeah, and you're not going all the way down. Give me that squeeze through those shoulder blades, RR. Good, so you don't want to be rounded here with your head ahead of you. You want to squeeze those shoulder blades back, head in line with your spine. If your initials are RR, especially. All right, now go ahead and put those weights down. That's our roll down. You guys know that I always, when we have the weights, I use these for roll up. So let's just see where you are on a regular roll up. So no weights, pull your abs in and go to your roll down. Then from there, with control, pull your abs in, roll all the way down if you can. But I want you to notice, did you fall down or did your feet lift up? Palms to the sky, knuckles close to the ground. Deep breath in. Exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Don't let the chin lead the way. Back of the neck is long. Pull your abs in to roll up a vertebra at a time. Sit tall at the top. Now, so some of you had to do a little jerky motion or a little bit of a kick to come up. So we're going to try and fix that, right? So take your weights, put them in your palms, and make sure that the weights are pushing your hands down, right? That's going to be the key. On the way down, you may not notice much of a difference. Keep your knuckles close to the ground, palms to the sky. Deep breath in. You may not need to use that jerking motion. So exhale, slowly lift yourself up, coming up a vertebra at a time, and see if the weights help you. Yeah, better. Awesome. All right, we're going to do a few roll-ups like that. You are certainly welcome to extend your legs if you don't have any low back issues, but if you notice that that doesn't feel good to you, then go ahead and bend your knees again. Now, if you could do roll-ups in the first place and you don't need the weights, that's fine. You don't need to use them. But if they're helping you and making sure that you don't kick, then go ahead and keep them. I will give you one last option, and that would make the roll-up much more challenging if you let those weights simply rest on your shoulders. On the way down, it might not be as big of a deal. On the way up, it might feel as if a 10-pound monkey is sitting on your chest and not letting you come up. If that happens and you feel like you have to kick your feet out, when that happens, then you get stuck, then just take your hands off your shoulders, right? So please don't do that if roll-ups were a challenge in the first place. So now you have roll downs, roll-ups with help, roll-ups with challenge. Let me see 3 more, please. And again, let's try and be conscientious of that space between our shoulder blades so that we can stay nice and open there. Back of the neck is long. Even when you come up, don't let that curl so much that you're rounding those shoulders, right? Use those abs. So the curl is in your lower back, but maybe not so much in your upper. All right. Next time you come up, go ahead and sit tall. Beautiful. You are warrior gods and goddesses today. The weights are challenging. All right, we are turning over onto our side. We're going to grab both weights and we're going to lie down. And you can just have them in front of you for now. Let's get into position So our arm is resting right underneath the ear, and we have that waistline lifted a couple inches off the ground. And then we're gonna take one or both weights and put them on the top leg. Our knees are bent and our hips are stacked. And then again, the hands are just gonna press those weights down. We're gonna go into that little Pilates V with our feet, so our toes are turned out. We're gonna lift the top leg so it's even with the hip, and then we're gonna lift it a little higher. And we're just gonna pulse up, pulse up. And now we're gonna go full range. So the leg goes all the way down and all the way up, and all the way down and all the way up. And then again, we're gonna pulse it up for 8. Good. Relax the legs. Take the weights off for just a second. Extend your top leg, put it on the ground, and then turn the toe down and the heel up. Now notice that your waist is still off the ground. Take that single weight, hold it on the back of your hamstring, and now we're gonna lift. In this turn down position, should kind of ignite that outer hip and a little bit of hamstring. And relax. Ooh, give that top hip some love if it needs it. Well, it probably always needs it, but especially now. And then we're gonna switch to the other side, please. So as you lie down, you wanna stack those knees, you wanna stack those hips, you wanna let that arm and ear rest together, waistline is lifted, both weights on your top leg if that's okay with you, and then just hold the weights in place. Toes are gonna turn out, heels are together, palm faces down, and we lift up, and from there we pulse a little bit higher and a little higher. And now we go full range all the way down and all the way up. And then we stay up, and from there we pulse again. Then we're gonna reformat here. So top leg in front, turn that toe down, bring that weight to the back of your hamstring, just hold it in place with a couple fingers, and we lift. And hold 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And give that hip some love. And we are rolling over onto our abs. And then I want you to take one weight on each side so they're by your hips. Palms are gonna come underneath the weights. So my knuckles are on the ground and my palms are facing the ceiling with the weights. Bring your big toes to touch, right? And then bring your heels to touch and put the toenails on the ground. So the lower body should be very squeezed together with those heels squeezed together, right? Good. Shoulders are gonna lift. Forehead is gonna tuck and lift, or chin is gonna tuck and lift. Hands are gonna lift, arms straight. First thing I want you to do is reach your fingers longer to lift yourself higher. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then we're gonna squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift, and relax down. Turn your head onto one ear, take a breath, deep breath in. Exhale, heels together, toes together, belly button in. Lift your shoulders first, then extend your arms, reach, and then we squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift. You want to look at the ground, squeeze, lift, and down. Turn the other direction, deep breath in. Exhale to lift, belly button back in, we lift, and we squeeze, 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 reach, one more, squeeze, reach, forehead touches, and we lift and squeeze everything, and down. Deep breath in, exhale, lift, squeeze, and down. 4 more like that, lift, squeeze, and down, lift, squeeze, and down. Last time, lift, squeeze, and down. And we're going to relax. We're going to press back in our shell stretch. You are welcome to simply sit back on your heels, or you can take those weights and create a little extra space behind your knees. Hands by your sides. Good, and then we're going to come up. If you did not have your weights tucked behind your knees, tuck one weight behind your right knee for me, please. Have the other weight near your left hand. And we're going to exhale, roll into a cat stretch, and open up into a cow. And then from there, find your neutral. That means your abs come in, your ribs come in, just like we've been doing all day, shoulders out of your ears. Now you're going to shift your weight onto your left leg, but not shift your hip over, right? So just lift your right leg, try and get your heel right behind you, not off to the side. And from there, push that heel a little higher, and push it a little higher, and push it a little higher, and then hold it there. Option 1, bird dog it by extending that left arm. Option 2, lower and lift the arm and the knee. Option 3, grab that weight. This is going to change things. Thumb to the sky, lift an inch, lower body and upper body. Two more, and relax. Woohoo! Shift that weight behind your left knee, please. Shoulders out of your ears, kitty cat stretch, and then cow, and then find neutral by pulling your ribs and your abs in, but leaving a little bit of arch in your spine. When you're ready, try and lift that left leg parallel to the ground, and then poke a hole in the ceiling with that heel if you want. Lead that leg up, lift that right arm, keep with that, or you can lower and lift the right arm and the left leg, or with that thumb rotated to the sky to protect that shoulder, you can lift and lift. Two more. And relax. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, shoulders out of your ears. We're going to come down. We're going to use those weights in our hands for now, holding on to those weights, thumbs up. And make sure those weights are the same distance apart as your elbows. Shoulders out of your ears. Lift your chest and your belly button and your hips. So option 1 is to stay here for a plank. Option 2, tuck your toes, hover your knees the tiniest bit. Option 3, a little bit safer and easier if you need. You're on the fronts of your thighs. And option 4, straighten those legs and press into your plank. Feet are together, hands are apart. Back of the neck is long, shoulders are broad, ribs are in. Press through your heels. And relax. Let's windshield wiper those legs side to side. Bring your weights to the front and roll over onto your side facing front. All right, we're going to do some side planking. We're going to have those weights handy to add on. This shoulder we want to protect, so push it back. Lift up out of it. Use those lats. Press yourself away, a lot of space between the ear and shoulder. Just like your regular plank, you can do this on the sides of your thighs with your all 10 toes up in the air. You can do it with a wide stagger, or you can do it with feet stacked. You guys all know those options. So you're just going to bring one weight in that top hand, and lift yourself up into your side plank. First one, arm is right above you, and I want you to think about alignment. So you're gonna bring that arm back a little bit, but you're gonna rotate your top hip forward a little bit. So arm goes back a little, top hip goes forward a little bit. There's your alignment, and now lift a little higher, arm can arch a wee bit. Don't bring that arm all the way up overhead, that probably would not be a super comfy position. Good, last one, put that weight on that top leg, hold it in place with a finger, lift up again, small lift. And come down. Other side. That may have felt a little different to you if you did those little adjustments, because that would have put us into hopefully a better alignment, whereas sometimes we're in a little bit of a zigzag. So decide what kind of plank you're doing. Protect this shoulder by pushing it back, lifting up out of it, using those lats, a lot of space between the ears and shoulders, waving your top hand. And then again, we're gonna open the chest a little, but we're gonna pull the top hip forward a little. So we're gonna open a little and yet pull the hip forward. And that should bring us into a better alignment. And then we lift. Two more. Good. And then that arm comes down. We hold that weight on our hip and we press up. And relax. Woo! Hopefully you felt those. All right. And when we are coming all the way over onto our spine again. Hug those knees in, one leg in each hand, take a little rock. And we're gonna do just one last exercise, just a little fun. Right leg is gonna extend, left knee is gonna be bent, and that weight is in your left hand. Deep breath in. On your exhale, pull your ribs towards your hips, lift the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, and reach the left arm over the head, right? You could even lift your right leg up if you want, and then exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach, and exhale down. One more like that. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach, and exhale down. Now you're going to stick with that if you have osteoporosis or if that roll up that we did earlier did not work for you. If you want to try it with the full lift, you go all the way up. The count is the exact same. We're exhaling on the movement, and we're inhaling at the top and the bottom. So exhale to move, inhale to do something with your arm, and exhale to come back down. So again, if I'm only doing partials, that's absolutely fine. You're still working hard, right? And then we're gonna switch. So right leg in, left leg extends, deep breath in. Exhale to lift, inhale, arm goes overhead. You can always lift that left leg up a little bit if you want, and exhale down. Inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, reach, exhale down. Exhale, lift, inhale, reach, and exhale down. Or full range, exhale, lift, inhale, reach, and exhale down. Beautiful, and we are all done except for a beautiful stretch. So one hand behind each leg, give those guys a hug. So we stretched out those hamstrings earlier with the weight. We're gonna add on to that just a little bit. So left foot down, and that weight goes behind our right hamstring again. This time we're gonna let the right leg move open to the right and the left leg flop open. You are welcome to extend that right leg to the right if you want. And then we'll bend it because we're going to straighten that left leg out now. And we're going to bring that right leg across the body, and we're going to take the weight and just put it on the outside of that right leg. So this is just the tiniest extra bit of weight, and I really feel that down my outer hip and IT band. And then we're going to take that same weight and bring it in our right hand so that we can twist that right leg all the way over to the left for a nice deep spinal twist. And then as we come back through center, we're going to drape that right ankle over the left thigh. Deep breath in, exhale, we're going to thread the needle. We're going to take that weight through, grab the left hamstring with it, pull it in nice and close. Push that right leg open. And then once again, weight in the right hand, left foot on the ground, and we drop the knees over to the left. And then straighten that left leg and straighten the right leg. And then we're going to curl back in. We're going to put that weight behind the left leg. We're going to let the right knee open and the left leg open. Opposite directions. You can certainly straighten that left leg if you want. And then as we pull back through center, that right leg straightens and that weight comes on top of that left outside of your leg. Feeling that deeper stretch. And then the weight goes underneath your left hand so that that left knee can come all the way to the right for a deep spinal twist. And then as we mosey on back through center, we're going to cross that left ankle over the right thigh. We're going to use that. We're going to thread the needle, hug that knee in, and press that leg open. If you extend it on the opposite side, extend on this side. And then again, weight under your left hand, knees drop to the right, foot goes down, press it open. And then both legs straight, arms up overhead. And then exhale, either a roll up or a rotation onto your side, up and over. And we're just gonna do a quick little cat-cow. And inhale into your cow, shoulders out of your ears, give your hips a little shake. All right, my beauties, that is our class. Thank you for being here.